Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. So we are chapter 9 and last week we did verse 11. Today we'll be doing 12 and 13 together. And the verse 11, Krishna Bhagwan called the people Mudha, and the translation was, fools disregard me when I dwell in human form. They know not my higher being as the great Lord of all beings. So when you don't know who God is, who yourself is, who you are, and then you disrespect. There are several ways to disrespect. When the Bhagwan takes avatar, you just look at him as a human being. That could be one type of disrespect. And the other one is you don't recognize God within yourself and other people. So you disrespect people. You don't see God in them. Or you just think that God is in my Ishta Devata only, the Murti, or just one place or one situation or one Murti, and that kind of is also disrespecting. So we saw all in detail all that. And with the same theme, there are several other verses, and two of them we are going to do now. Basically, why are these people fools? What happens to them? Some analysis Bhagwan is doing now in these verses. So there is verse 12 now. I'm going to chant. Moghasha mogha karmanaha mogha gnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakrutim mohinim shritaha. So here there are some strong words used. In our language they sound kind of strong. Rakshasi and Asuri, and Mohini doesn't sound so bad, but the other two. And I was telling that Krishna Bhagwan, introduces these words, and then there are chapters that elaborate very heavily about these. So when we come to chapter 16, there will be Devi Sampati and Asuri Sampati. So when you hear these words first, Rakshasi and Asuri, first thought comes, thank God I'm not that, right? ऐसा कुछ अपने मन कुछ वो जो पुरानी स्टोरीज में और अपने वो जो डिपिक्शन होता है ना टीवी वगैरह पे राक्षसों का, वो ऐसा दिखा देते हैं जैसे कि भयानक रूप है और हा हा करके हंस रहे हैं, थिंग्स लाइक दैट. यहाँ पर कुछ डिफरेंट कॉनोटेशन है. सो और असुर भी, there is a slight difference in technical difference between राक्षस and असुर, and we'll see what it is. और असुर बोला तो सेम, हम लोग राक्षस और असुर को एक ही जैसा मानते हैं, राइट? हम तो नहीं है ऐसा. लेकिन भगवान याद दिलाएंगे कि ये टेंडेंसी सभी में होती है. इट्स लाइक यू हैव बीन गिवन सर्टन इंग्रेडिएंट्स, एंड उसमें से तुम राक्षसी प्रवृत्ति बना सकते हो, आसुरी प्रवृत्ति बना सकते हो, या देवी प्रवृत्ति बना सकते हो. कीप दैट इन माइंड. सो वी आर मेड अप ऑफ द 3 gunas, एंड दीज 3 gunas, उनका मिक्सचर हैज अ कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ डूइंग विच एवर. सो ये कोई बाहर नहीं बैठा है राक्षस और आसुर, ये सब हमारे अंदर ही है. उसको कैसे हैंडल करना, वो यहाँ पर थोड़ा टिप दिया गया है. सो जस्ट फॉर क्लैरिटी पर्पस आई हैड टू say that because these words sound very strong. So what Bhagavan is saying in this verse is that one who does not know the real nature of God, or who does not know real nature of oneself, because now we are in chapter 9. By now Bhagavan has mentioned what is the nature of Bhagavan so much already, and he's going to continue, and that is our self only. So what it means, one who does not comprehend God, and our own self. What Bhagavan is saying, don't pay attention to that and comprehend that. So that person, according to Bhagavan in this verse, their life goes totally waste. like we said कि graduate होने के लिए आए थे यहाँ पर और एकदम fail होके जा रहे हैं हम लोग, कुछ आगे बढ़ के नहीं. So how does that happen? So and ऐसे लोगों को भगवान ने एक word दिया है, उसको बोला है विचेतसः. Vichetasaha means, chetana means, like being conscious of something. Vichetasaha means distracted from that. Or यहाँ पर स्वामी जी ने दिया था senseless. Oh, I didn't do the Sanskrit words, right? Yeah. So let me do the Sanskrit word and then we'll have a little more idea. So Mog Asha is of vain hopes. यहाँ पर आशा जी बैठी हैं, तो आशा करना मतलब hope, right? और Mog Asha means, wasteful आशा करना, कि जो wrong expectations, something like that, huh? And then Mog Karmana means action, vain actions, wasteful actions. Mog Jnana, vain knowledge, like knowledge maybe, they say knowledge is very powerful, knowledge we should get, but कौन सा knowledge लेना चाहिए ये भी important है, because आजकल वो WhatsApp का जो चल रहा है ना, इतना knowledge pass on होता है, and some of them may be totally useless, and now with AI half of it is made up also, so it really fits that vain knowledge. And vichetasaha, senseless. So one who is kind of, जिसकी चेतना ठीक से है नहीं, like wrong thinking, wrong, all that comes under distracted mind, that's vichetasaha. Rakshasi, so यहाँ पर बोला है devilish. Sometimes may not be exact translation in English what Rakshasi is. The one जिसमें तमस बहुत ज़्यादा भरा हुआ है, जो violence पे उतर आए kind of, that is Rakshasi. Asuri is undivine. जब भी हम लोग, when we are acting very mean way to people or family or friends, or that is like we are doing in a asuri bhav. That's what it means. Cha is and, eva is verily, prakritim, nature. So Bhagavan ne bola na, my higher nature, lower nature. Lower nature is made of 3 gunas, and from these 3 gunas these things can come up. और मोहिनी, मोहिनी वैसे तो कोई अप्सरा का नाम है, राइट? तो कोई बहुत सुंदर, और मोहिनी अवतार एंड ऑल दैट, बट यहाँ मीनिंग मोहिनी मतलब है मोह से जो भरा हुआ है, मतलब डेल्यूजन है जिसके मन में, डेल्यूजन, डिसीटफुल, इसको यहाँ पर मोहिनी उसका मीनिंग है. आफ्टर हियरिंग दिस पीपल विल थिंक ट्वाइस पुटिंग द नेम मोहिनी. आई डोंट नो, आई एम जस्ट किडिंग. श्रिताहा is possessed of. So that was a Sanskrit. Okay. Now going back to, the deeper meaning of it. So we were talking about moghasha. Expectations are all wasted. They are useless, vain. Mogh karmana. So अगर expectation तुम्हारा खराब है, तो फिर उसका जो तुम उसके लिए action करोगे वो भी waste हो जाएगा, right? जब तुम्हारी beginning foundation ही खराब है तो क्या होगा फिर? So wasted action. Mogh jnana. And they acquire vain knowledge, wasteful knowledge. We discussed that a little bit. And we will go more into detail what it means. So why such thing happens? Because they take refuge in that kind of thing. So like I said, we have the potentiality of both kind of things within us. And sometimes sometimes we feel very, very sattvic, we feel full of love, and we feel so happy, and other times we feel frustrated and angry and things like that, so all that negative things. So when you take ashray of that, because there is maybe some delay in action, if कभी लगता है ना कि कोई बहुत किसी पे गुस्सा आता है तो लगता है कि 2 झापड़ मार दो उसको, लेकिन हम मारते तो नहीं है ना. So we did not take the ashray, but there are some people who will do that. So that means they have taken the ashray of that. So somewhere there is a fine line. Oh, what was that? Okay, let's see. Some people, I'll mute. It's not muted. Okay. So, so when you take ashray in this Rakshasi and Mohini and Asuri Pravriti, and then as I was saying that when we go to chapter 16, it will get more and more clear what it means. Okay? Right now, he's just introducing these things, and we just get some idea what it means. So basically, in chapter 16, Bhagavan divided the Prakriti or the nature into 2 parts. This is a different kind of classification, Asuri and Devi. He didn't even talk about Rakshasi over there. They're like, that's like, Swamiji gave some very big English word for the Rakshasi, incorrigibly indifferent. And I had to go to the to the dictionary to find out. I mean, जिसके लिए कोई hope नहीं है, जो बदलेगा ही नहीं, जिसको तो भगवान को आके उसको मारना ही पड़ेगा, something like that. जो भगवान ने कंस और रावण के लिए वगैरह अवतार लिए, और लेकिन आसुरी जो है ना वो थोड़ा माइल्ड है. And then the way the three gunas, if we talk about that, okay, we are made up of three gunas, right? So how is the classification? These are broad classification, huh? That's all. So Asuri Prakriti means tamasic and rajasic जिसमें ज़्यादा हो. Okay? Devi Prakriti means जिसमें सात्विक हो, जो सात्विक का सहारा लेता है. So then what the way Nikhilanand ji was explaining this very beautifully, that we have a choice what to take support of. Okay, Asuri Prakriti or Devi Prakriti, because we have both in us. Our mind is made up of both, and the whole drishtant about Kaurav and Pandav is also that. I don't know, I have discussed it in the class before, long time ago, but there are a lot of new people who are here. So this fight between Kaurav and Pandav, that happens in our mind only. We have 100 negative tendency, 5 good ones. This is across everybody, okay? And they both are children of the same family. That means हमारे मन से ही ये निकलती है दोनों, okay? लेकिन जब 5 जो अच्छी बातें हमारे में है, वो कैसे जीतेंगी जब 100 सामने खड़े हैं, right? 100 नेगेटिव, तो वो 5 को एकत्रित होना पड़ेगा पहले. That's why 5 Pandavas were all together, and then they surrendered to Krishna Bhagwan, and they listened to him. So surrender to your higher self. That's the whole process in this. So that's how we have to look at it. So it is in both of us, and our minds only, they're made up of both. And then Nikhilanand ji brought this very beautiful thing from Ramayana. Today Meera ji is not here, but she probably knows this verse, that Vibhishan, when Vibhishan was a good guy, right? He was living among the Rakshasas, but he took the ashray of the Devi Sampatti in him. और उसने बहुत समझाने की कोशिश की रावण को कि भाई, एंड उसने एक लाइन बोली रावण को कि सुमति और कुमति सबके हिय रही. हिय मीन्स हृदय में. सुमति और कुमति सबके हृदय में होती है, but you take support of the Sumati. Don't go by your Kumati, which is telling you to abduct, and you abducted Sita, वापस दे दो उनको. सुमति के साथ आप जाओ. वो उसको बहुत समझाने की कोशिश की. So, but obviously उसने नहीं ना. So the way Nikhilanand ji was trying to explain that potentially these things are there within us. They're always there within us, and we have potentially anger also. Like he was just saying that, see, right now everybody's sitting very nicely listening and all. We think, oh, we are all very nice, but we know we have potential to anger, right? कि कुछ गड़बड़ेगा तो एकदम से बाहर निकलेगा. So we have potential. That's how we have to see. So, and then he was just saying that sometimes, कोई एक आदमी बड़ा शांत होता है हमेशा, and वो suddenly annoyed हो जाता है, तो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, अरे ये तो बहुत शांत होता था, इसको क्या हो गया? कभी. So because the potentiality is there within us, and then he was just saying a drishtant that तुलसीदास जी का एक दोहा है जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि चंदन वैसे तो बहुत काम एंड कूलिंग एंड सूदिंग होता है, लेकिन चंदन की लकड़ी जो है ना, उसको अगर जोर से घिसोगे और समथिंग, उसमें से भी आग निकल सकती है. कोई देयर इज सम वे टू रब इट. सो दैट्स व्हाट एवरीबॉडी हैज दैट थिंग. सो and then I remember there was one Indian, Red Indian की एक story होती है, because we deal with the children, so sometimes they like these kind of stories. So there is a small story in the Red Indians that they say there are 2 wolves that live in our mind. One is a bad guy, bad wolf, and one is a good wolf, right? That's how they describe it. So then somebody asks, which one is stronger in you? So he's saying the one that you feed. That will become stronger. So both are there, but जिसको तुम ज़्यादा हवा दोगे ना, वही निकल के आएगा बाहर. So then now let's analyze what is the Asuri Prakriti. Asur is not some bad guy out there, but Asuric Prakriti can be within us. It's like hinsa, abhiman, dambh, and darp. And these are like big words. Some we know, krodh, garb means, or English mein bolenge, pride, prejudice, hypocrisy, anger, jealousy, fear. All these are asuri prakriti, and it's potentially within us. And when it comes to all these negative qualities, when we go to these later chapters, we will analyze each one. Because dambh. Now what is dambh and abhiman mein kya farak hai? Dambh is like you have some qualities within you, पर तुम उसको बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलते हो सभी को, मैं तो ये हूँ, मैं तो वो हूँ, उसको दम्भ बोला जाता है. तो ऐसे ऐसे करके we will learn more. Because sometimes we might think, oh, we are all very good, but then fine tuning, hey, you might be doing these things that you have to stop, things like that, later on. So then these are the asuri ones. Then there are some good qualities. All of us have that, all of them. And then what are those? Love, compassion, selflessness, peacefulness, faith in the Supreme Self. All these good qualities are within us. And he was just saying that sometimes, these qualities take turn in us. कभी ये बाहर आ जाएगी, कभी वो बाहर आ जाएगी, एकदम से कभी-कभी आ जाती है, So then he's saying that these things, these expression of these qualities are seen in our mind. We know when we are feeling very happy and peaceful, then Devi qualities are coming up. And when we are getting angry, frustrated, we are shouting for no reason, all the asuri ones are coming up. So what he says is that take the support of the Devi and not the asuri. So, what Nikhilanandji was saying, that this particular verse and the next one, they are like a psychology of the sadhana. What you are supposed to do, because early stage of sadhana is just taking the choice between the good and the right things. That's how you begin, because these choices always come in front of us. And whoever did the Kathopanishad, we saw that the path of Shreyas and Preyas, they're always in front of us. Either you take the easy thing, just to give you immediate satisfaction, or analyze it. Hey, what is the long term? What is beneficial? That is Shreyas. So, and here in Bhagavad Gita, twice or three times Arjuna asks, please tell me, he tells Krishna Bhagavan, please tell me what is Shreyas for me. He just doesn't want, what is right for me. No, Shreyas means right for the whole cosmos, So that's what it is. So he was just saying that what is the sadhana? That is, we should have to use our willpower and stick to our decisions, with the higher knowledge. And then, and what is the other method you can use for Devi Sampatti to come up? Have a good company. Satsangi, devotees. And that's why, like, when I go to Hare Krishna, that is their very big thing. That hang around, you want to dance, you want to sing, you want to do whatever, have party, have it with the right kind of people, because then the party will be like that too. It's a company is very good, because that will keep you in that Devi Sampatti, So that's what it is. And then what happens that now after we analyze this, what is Devi and what is Asuri, Mohini and Rakshasi. So he was just saying that if you take support of the negative one, those three, then your life goes waste. If you take the support of Devi, then you will rise up. So what happens when you take support of these negative things, or, Asuri, Rakshasi, Mohini, that you have a false expectations. They think that all of us strive to fulfill our expectation and desires, right? That's what we do, literally, from morning to evening. But if the desires are basically false, then everything becomes waste, So he's saying that, he was just saying, if you just sit back and analyze, all our expectations, you will realize that half of them are just false. They are, why? Because, we just keep imagining, aisa hoga, vaisa hoga. And then he think we have imaginary expectations from whom? Our relatives, children, friends, government, society, world, sabke saath, we have all these false expectations, and when they don't get fulfilled, then we get really sad and upset and all that. So that's why you have to, no need to have a false expectation. Why do we have false expectation? We don't have a proper wisdom, about our nature, about the nature of the world, about God, like here sometimes they will spend so much time talking about the weather. Weather is good, bad. They say that's not your department anyway. Why are you worrying? Whatever it is, weather means changing, right? It's not going to be same. So that's what it's saying, that you don't have proper wisdom. And then one example he gave was a very simple but very good one. Nikhilananji gave that example. It's like false expectation is like, you have a chili pepper in front of you and you are expecting it to be sweet. So you eating it and then oh, this is not sweet, this is so bad, and then you start cursing. So that's what it is, false expectation from the world. Isko to aisa karna chahiye, isko to waisa karna chahiye. And when they don't do it, we get upset because we have false expectation. So that's why it becomes a wasted effort. And it's like trying to find happiness in the world. We already know that science, that it's not going to work. So then, we try to gain knowledge, and he's saying that based on this false expectation, then that knowledge also is false only. And I think that in today's world, this WhatsApp knowledge exchange, that you see half of it is wasted. Don't you feel like that? Sometimes, people do so many forwards, and afterwards think, why am I wasting my time on this? Because it just sucks you in, half of it. And with the AI, half is false. So these people who take the support of these three, they are the one who have this problem. Okay. And then it ends up in deep sorrow, pain, and life and all that, And then, he was just saying that what we want is security, happiness, but actually we are looking for it outside. It is within us only. So happiness in the world outside, if we expect that, is moghasha. Because what it means is, moghasha means useless, false expectation, right? So if we think that world is going to give me happiness, that becomes a moghasha. That's what he was trying to say. So, and then all these actions, and then if we watch what we do all day, there is a English saying, running from pillar to post, constantly busy. किसी को भी पूछो अमेरिका में, कोई मुझे भी पूछेगा, मैं भी ऐसे हो जाऊँ, I'm so busy. Busy doing what? कि इतना सब करने के बाद, then you say हाथ में कुछ नहीं आया. If you don't have the correct wisdom, that's what it is. And then he gave our Swami Chinmayananji is very funny sometimes. So he's saying wasted effort it's like telling a hair-raising story to a bald person. इसका बाल ही नहीं है, hair-raising story you're telling. And then English में एक not English में, अपने हिंदी में कहावत है, कोल्लू का बैल. सुना होगा, कोल्लू का बैल मीन्स वो एक कुछ तेल निकालते थे, वो पुराने जमाने की, और वो ऐसे से घूमता रहता है, खूब चलता है, और दूसरा बैल उसको देखा इतना काम कर रहा है लेकिन वो कहीं पहुंच ही नहीं रहा है. ही जस्ट गोइंग राउंड एंड राउंड, जस्ट द सेम. बेचारा काम कर रहा है, तेल निकल रहा है, बट जस्ट कोल्लू का बैल बोलते हैं ना, कोल्लू का बैल मत बनो. या यहाँ पर का एग्जाम्पल है कि वो ट्रेडमिल में खड़े हुए हैं और hey, I did 5 miles, where did you go? Nowhere. Just dristant. You're doing so much and you're not getting anywhere. This, how does this thing apply to us? That's what he was trying to remind us. Because he's saying all these wonderful things that we worry about, our credit card, car, possession, everything we leave behind and go. So we can't take it with us. We can't carry it. What do we carry with us? Our tendency and our swabhava we carry with us, our mind and intellect. So the wisdom that we acquire, the sanskar that we acquire, that's what we take up. That, if you focus on that, then you're not wasting. And then we saw that he gave another same example that I had mentioned last time about Alexander. उसने इतना conquer किया, इतना किया, फिर end में वो जाते के पहले ही मर गया. कुछ नहीं उसके हाथ आया. That's what he was just saying. And then one more joke he cracked, and everybody will kind of connect with this joke. He's saying that about knowledge, waste of knowledge. He's saying that sometimes general knowledge के पीछे लोग इतना पढ़ते हैं, वो फलाने का वो कौन है, कौन सा राष्ट्रपति है, कब जन्मा था, क्या किया था, ये all that, and sometimes children also, we tell them to memorize all these things. And he's saying, if you know all this, you will become a crorepati. Because kaun banega crorepati mein hua hai na? Saying that from the spiritual perspective, all waste. Okay, and that's a biography of so many people. Vichetasaha, that word you have to remember, distracted and don't understand the real nature. That's where they are focusing on. Huh? And now, this was one side of the picture, right? So now, we are going to go to the next verse. भगवान ने contrast बताया कि एक जन तो है जो राक्षसी, आसुरी और मोहिनी प्रकृति में, या जो
I just wanted to give an example which I read long time ago. It affected me. And that was a book by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Somebody was asking him a question because at that time Bangladesh issue was there. And he says, so many people are, this is happening, that is happening, that is happening. I'm so unhappy. And he said, unless God has assigned you to fix this problem, don't worry about it.
Right. I think we have to worry about our own nature. And we are not saying that don't go and do something, but people unnecessarily keep talking for hours.
Yeah.
When they cannot do anything about it, right? So, like, say saving
every meeting and solve India's problem for many years. And finally, Modi has solved them, but they weren't solved then.
They were what?
We used to try to solve the problems in our meeting of India.
Yeah, but the way we were trying to solve is, if you ऊपर से करेंगे तो कुछ नहीं होएगा, right? So when you go deep into it, and then you get true, so true. So I think the spirituality teaches us where to focus our efforts. That's what it is. So yeah, any question on this? Other question or comment on this Moghasha, Mogh Karmana, and Mogh Gnana? It really opens your eyes, right? Like, it kind of take stock of your life, that what we are doing, So in contrast, now the next verse is 13. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaha bhajantanyanya manasah ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. So यहाँ पर महात्मानः, great souls बोला है, and you will see महात्मा word का, we will analyze what it means. Tu, but, mam, me, partha is, we know, Arjun now, devim, divine, prakritim, nature, ashritaha. So these mahatmas take refuge in Devi Prakriti. Bhajanti, then what do they do? Worship. Ananya manasa, with a mind devoted to nothing else. And then ye jo bhajan the na, we will know what it means. Ye nahi ki baith ke bhajan kar rahe hain. That's not what it means over here. There's a much deeper meaning of what it is. Gnatva is having known. Bhut adim, the source of being. Avyayam, imperishable. Means they know me as the source of all being and imperishable. So we'll see in detail what it means. Now these are the people. There are other type of people who take support of Devi Prakriti. Devi Prakritim Ashritaha. And what is Devi Prakriti? It's made of all the good qualities, sattvic qualities. And what are the sattvic qualities? And we have seen them many times, and we'll just remind ourselves. Shama Dhamma, quietude of mind, control of senses, compassion, love, wisdom, faith, kindness, sharing, caring, service, attitude of gratitude, accommodating people, accepting people. These are all Devi qualities. Not constantly dividing, So many qualities are there, and these are called Devi Sampatti. And then as I had mentioned that here Bhagwan is going to talk about these Devi Sampatti and Asuri Sampatti in chapter 16. Unko Sampatti bola hai. Imagine. Sampatti means what? Wealth. Why did Bhagwan call it a wealth? So let's analyze it. Wealth is something that has exchange value. That's why we call it wealth. दो फूटी कौड़ी का भी नहीं है, ऐसे बोलते हैं. That means no wealth. Wealth means it can give you something else, right? So what are we looking for? All of us. We are looking for happiness and peace. each one of us. कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है बोलेगा मुझे दुख दे दो जी. कोई नहीं बोलेगा. We want happiness. So what can get you the happiness? That's the key thing over here. We require Devi Sampati. And to get these peace and happiness, because Asuri Sampati will never buy you peace and happiness, because it's Asuri Sampati will never give you peace and quietude and happiness. Imagine if you have all the negative thing bubbling up. You're going to be so angry, frustrated, sleepless nights. You're not going to feel happy at all. And then this Devi Sampati is the one that ultimately takes you to moksha also. So that's why it is so important, because by anger, jealousy, greed, sadness, fear, pride, you cannot attain that, higher self or state of realization, So as we discussed that this Devi Sampati is within us only. So he was just saying that in 24 hours, there are times when the mind becomes peaceful and the thought of deep compassion comes, forgiveness comes, all these things come. That's when we are filled with love and all that. So these rare moments, when they come up, encourage those qualities within us. Assert them. Think about it. Welcome it. Respect it. Pay attention to it. That's why you take ashray in that. Because ऐसा नहीं है कि पांडव और कौरवों का देखो ना कि पांडवों में भी नेगेटिव थिंग्स थी. ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं थी. We know that, right? युधिष्ठिर इतना महात्मा था, बड़ा था, उसने भी जुआ खेला कि नहीं? उसमें वो आसुरी उसमें चला गया थोड़ी देर के लिए. That's what it is. But then they were resisting there. कभी गुस्सा भी आता था तो कृष्ण भगवान शांत कर देते थे उनको. भीम को आता था इसका मैं सर फोड़ दूंगा, ये कर दूंगा, whatever. Krishna Bhagavan used to calm him down. Take, don't, not yet. It's not the time, whatever. So then he's saying that if you encourage these Devi, that's when they become strong, and then you should try to express them also. If you have a compassion in your heart, don't keep it there. Express it in your action. That's how you make it stronger, the Devi Prakriti. You validate them, you strengthen them, take support of it. So when what happens when you do that? You are on the road to becoming a Mahatma. Okay? Like Mahatma Gandhi. Who is a Mahatma means, what is this English, Sanskrit, uska sandhi, usko viched karenge. Mahan Atma is Mahatma. Mahan Atma. Mahan Atma means your large-heartedness. When you accommodate the whole world within you. That's what it is. When the सबसे बड़ा जो जिसका दिल होएगा, and जो महान आत्मा नहीं होता है ना, little person होता है ना, वो क्या होता है कि वो एकदम self-centered होता है. His idea of self is just me and me, my body, my comfort, बाकी सब भाड़ में जाए, right? But जो महान आत्मा होता है वो क्या करता है? He accommodates the entire creation, not just humans. उसके लिए tiny little ant, animal, birds, everybody is included. That's a Mahatma. So he considers all the other beings as their own self only. Okay? That's why. Because he sees oneness. And this Mahatma comes out because he has taken support in Devi Sampati. Because Devi Sampati, he was explaining, is expansive. It expands your heart, Devi Sampati, and the other negative things, it divides, Like if you have violence and hatred and fear, we know, dange, fasad, ye sab isliye hote hain na? Because they just take ashray, and then terrorists hote hain, terrorists, wo bhi yahi hota hai ki Asuri mein unhone ashray liya hai. So then they start doing all kind of atrocities towards human being. So he was just saying that whenever you get a chance, express this Devi Sampati to whoever is around you. You can start from your family also, your own relatives, your own husband, wife, children, parents, neighbors, animals, plants. Practice it, That's how you do it. Because how do we take ashray? That's what I thought he gave a very important points. But sometimes we can read all these things, but we don't know what to do. So here are the tips he was giving. And then he's saying that these people who take refuge in the Devi Sampati, they are totally different from Asuri wale. Huh? So what do they do then? They say they bhajanti ananya manasaha. With single pointed, they worship me. So he's saying it doesn't mean that you're doing puja of some murti or something. That's not what it means. means that worship me in the entire creation. You look at everybody as God's expression only and try to help the best way you can, serve the world kind of thing. That's what it means, bhajanti. And yeah, ek word hai gyatva. Gyatva means having known. Known what? Or having an understanding. Understanding that Brahman is the source of all creation. So knowing that how do they become Mahatma? This is how. Because they know, and then avyayam kiya, imperishable source of everything. That Bhagwan is that imperishable source of creation, and that's why. And then I was saying that in the Abrahamic religion they call it King of the Universe, right? We saw Sarva Bhuta Maheshwaraha. Same thing over here also. So they see Bhagwan in everything, and so these are the two paths shown over here. And then just one more analysis he did, which was very nice, about Rakshasi, Asuri, and Mohini. What is the difference? So he's saying that when Rakshasi means you look bade violent ho jate hain fir. When these madness goes to a beyond, that's why all these shooting and things like that. When we say modern day Rakshasas, those are the ones. Will take the gun and start shooting the children into some place, or take a gun in some restaurant and start shooting people. They have done nothing to them. That's Rakshasi, violence, vagara, And then when we indulge in negative things, those are Asuri. So that a common man can have those two. That, sometimes taking ashraya of this negative thing. And what is Mohini is when you become totally dull and stupid. Like tamas itna bhad gaya hai ki malum hi nahi ki which way is up. Doing or ulta, kind of thing. So he's saying that that was the difference he was talking about. That choice is ours, what we want to do. And then, all the Puranic stories are that Vibhishan was there. He was surrounded by the Rakshasas and Asuras. But he kept his Devi Sampatti, right? So it can be done, And also the story of Duryodhan and Arjun, when they were choosing, Duryodhan chose the army and Arjun chose Krishna Bhagwan. Devi Sampatti, because he knew that Krishna Bhagwan is going to give him the right knowledge. So moment to moment we have to do this. And one other important thing he mentioned, that to take support of the Devi Sampatti, it requires effort. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, गुस्सा तो ऐਵੇਂ ही आ जाता है, लेकिन when we want to create some good feeling, थोड़ा सा तप जप practice करनी पड़ती है, right? So that's what it is, that to forget about our selfishness, and we have to become fearless and all those things, and study about God's existence and all that, then we can do this. And he was just, this was very funny, but you will hear. So he's saying that कभी कभी ना हम लोग ही अच्छा बनने से लोग डरते हैं. अरे मैं अच्छी बन जाऊंगी बहुत, तो people will walk all over me. Even the children को हम लोग बोलेंगे, अरे इतना अच्छा भी मत बोलो, दुनिया सब तंग करेगी and all that. So and then another thing he said, which हिंदी में हम लोग कभी बोलते हैं, अरे बेचारा बहुत भला आदमी है. तो वो स्वामी जी बोल रहे थे, अगर भला है तो उसको बेचारा क्यों बोल रहे हो तुम? मतलब दुनिया कैसे देखती है, right? कि we encourage these negative things in people, and then even children को, when we encourage all these things, oh yeah, एक ने थप्पड़ मारा, तू भी दो मार के आ जा, So he's saying that we encourage all these things, and then they come and practice it on you only as parents, the children, and then you will say, no, तू वैसा behave उन लोग के साथ कर, मेरे साथ मत कर, Like there was one lady who said, मेरी बच्ची बहुत झूठ बोलती है और वो ना neighbor से सीख के आई है. So मैंने बोला, oh God, maybe then you have to make sure that वो कोई अच्छे बच्चों के साथ. Then as the conversation was going on, she said, we are going to India this winter, and the school, I wanted to stay longer. The school was not giving chutti, so we just said grandma is sick, So see how she's teaching her daughter how to lie. Who's teaching? Mother was teaching, and she's blaming neighbor ke bache. I tell you, it's just, and I mean, we may be doing the same thing, but until you sit and analyze about this, we won't even know what we are doing. That's what he was trying to say. That how unknowingly we go into Asturi and Mohini and Rakshasi thing, because we only encourage it. It's within us. So that was a very important point that he he's saying. Okay, so I think that's about it. And the next verse is actually extension of this one, that the people who take refuge in the Devi, वो लोग और क्या करते हैं, no? उनका lifestyle बताएंगे वो. But these two contrast बताए. Any question, comment? Devi and Asuri, and yeah. But I think when we studied these and we went to the chapter 16. It is like very humbling when we realize that this Asuri thing is within us only. We don't have to look for Asuras outside, with some horns or something, It's our tendency ko yes, Bhagwan ne Asuri bola hai. Okay. Who would like to read? नरेश जी क्या विचार है? बहुत दिनों के बाद आए हैं आप.
मैं पढ़ देता, मेरे पास बुक नहीं है.
अच्छा, ओके, सो आई हैव टू गो बैक टू द सेम. अब अभी लोग पर्दे के पीछे ज्यादा जाने लगे हैं, पता नहीं है. सुशील जी, व्हाई यू आर हाइडिंग बिहाइंड दीस डेज? नाउ रीडर्स आर बिकमिंग लेस एंड लेस. Oh, there Sushil ji comes.
I didn't shave, that's why.
Are, you still look very handsome, Sushil ji. You don't have to worry.
No, it's not for that reason. I was just not feeling too well. So.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's okay. You do what feels good to you. I'll Meena ji, you can read then. I will not bother you, Sushil ji. You can hide back. That's okay. I was just kidding.
Okay. Yeah. 12. Of vain hopes, of vain actions, of vain knowledge, and senseless, they verily are possessed of the delusive nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. 13. But the Mahatmas, great souls, O Partha, partaking of my divine nature, worship me with a single mind, with a mind devoted to nothing else, knowing me as the imperishable source of all beings. Do you want to say something?
No, I think that those two we understood, right? That he's just contrasting with the two. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. In order to drive home an argument, it is the style in Krishna's discourses that he always brings the contrasting factors together so that each may come to shine all the more against the background supplied by the other. Here is a pair of stanzas in which, if the former explains the low men of delusive nature, Rakshasas and Asuras, the latter paints the picture of great souled ones, Mahatmas, possessed of the divine qualities.
So like we said, that Krishna Bhagwan, what he's trying to do over here, he's giving you a complete contrast. So then against that you can see. And then when we analyze it, then you feel more motivated to take ashray in the Devi Prakriti, right? Because then we realize ki kya hoga if you take ashray in the other one, because your life will go totally waste. So none of us want that.
Yeah, but you become aware and then you sometimes don't realize, oh, I have that. Why did I think of it? Why is it like
so
that?
We don't have to see. One thing is very, very important. Everybody is made of 3 gunas, including the saints, right? And then when we study the chapter of the gunas, what it is that sattva mein rehna means the other 2 are not disappeared. They have just gone in the background, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they can come up. We are not there yet. So all these things are going to happen to us. But every time it does, if we think about it, if we analyze it, when the time will come, we'll be more likely to take ashray of the Devi Sampatti. That's what it is. So it's a self-reflection. And that's why we do satsang more often. More analyze more often. Because if you don't, agar ye satsang वगैरह करना छोड़ दोगे ना, you will see how fast you will go into the Asuri one. Because दुनिया में तो सभी ऐसी बातें करते हैं, जितने ज़्यादा स्मार्ट लोग को किसको अभी तो खैर थोड़ा सा एनवायरनमेंट चेंज हो रहा है इंडिया में. पहले वो लोग घूस देंगे, वो करेंगे और बड़े प्राउड से बताएंगे मैंने तो ऐसा किया वैसा किया. चोर उचक्के सब खूब जोर जोर से. So that culture is slightly changing now. So that's what it is. That unless you analyze, it won't happen.
Secondly, I mean, sometimes I think even that I am there's the witness. I am the witness of the good and the bad. Witness of the Asuri, witness of the divine also. And then,
True. In the end, you have to kind of transcend both. That's what the whole idea is. But you can never transcend if you have too much asuri, that you take ashraya of too much asuri, you won't have a chance to transcend. That's exactly why they said that, sato guna ko बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. Sato guna ko आगे लाना पड़ेगा, and then you will have a chance of transcending. So everything fits over here.
deluded by false desires and wearied with false activities to fulfill those wrong desires, some become confused in intellect and totally confounded in their reasoning. Such people lose all divine perspective and become monstrous in their activity, expressing nothing but their demonic, sensuous nature at all times. Such men are called here as Rakshasas and Asuras, belonging to the tradition of Ravana and the culture of Lanka.
So we know that Ravan ऐसे तो कितना ज्ञानी था, right?
Yes.
He was like, and he had a lot of good qualities in him too. But he took ashraya of the Asuri and Rakshasi. That's exactly what happened to him. Because he had a potential of both. Because he had, उसकी तो father भी एक ऋषि हुआ थे ना, महान ऋषि तो होते थे उसके father. Mother was from Asura. ऋषि ने काफी कोशिश की उसके father ने कि उसको सिखाए सब कुछ, वेदास ये वो सब कुछ सिखाया. And he was the greatest devotee of शिव जी. उसका शिव तांडव स्तोत्र तो सभी गाते हैं, रावण का बनाया हुआ है वो. मगर in the end he kept taking more and more ashray in his asuri. That's why it downfall of him.
Men who have thus lost their higher urges in their preoccupations with the material gains and sensuous joys come to breed a civilization which respects no sanctity of life nor of wealth, and to them the temporary end justifies even the most vicious means. It does not call for great power of imagination to understand what would be the nature of the world and the life of the community in it when such men come to rule over the society. War and pestilence, crime and disease, inequality in wealth and in opportunities, in short, a purely materialistic people alone can be reared up when such a philosophy of the flesh is pursued diligently to live in.
So we know, and pestilence is, it's called deadly virus or some epidemic, and we face that in the world, and nobody, till today, the scientists don't know why it happens. Some people think that कुछ उन्होंने lab में गड़बड़ किया, पता नहीं क्या, जो भी है. We don't know, what actually happened, why this pandemic happened. But we know that the more selfish people get and if the leaders become like that, तो पूरा देश का इतना नुकसान होता है. And so many countries in the world are suffering today because their leaders are like that, So that's what he's just reminding us, that उसका कितना भयानक रूप हो सकता है if all these negative things people take ashray of,
It's not just the individual, they're taken up to the whole community, the nation as such,
because nation is made of individuals. So if the majority of the people become like that, then that's what it's going to be, Yeah. So sometimes we blame the world, but it is an expression of people's what they are doing within themselves also.
The cause for such a fall in the values of men is being carefully indicated here. It starts with the vain desires. Gross and dangerous desires entertained by a member of the society indicate the lack of education in him in the science of cultural self-development. The desires in the intellect order the type of thoughts in the mind, and they expressed in the outer world are the very substances of the actions. Naturally, therefore, vain desires give rise to futile thoughts which, when expressed in the world, can produce only sorrow, breeding actions of destruction.
So he's just telling you that whole sequence of, moghasha, mogh karmana, mogh jnana. That when you have a wrong idea into your head, then all the wrong thoughts come, and then you acquire wrong knowledge, and then you express it out, and then wrong actions. Like all that, whatever happened, with Hitler and all that. He had a completely wrong idea कि only एक जैसे लोग होने चाहिए और all the rest are useless and all that. Look what happened. So it starts with moghasha. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, everything is like from the vasanas, the desires, and then the intellect takes over, intellect guides the mind takes to the actions. And that's what they described here.
So sometimes you could have a moghasha, suppose, but if you take refuge in some proper wisdom, somebody gives you you surrender to a guru or some holy book, then they might, maybe what I'm thinking is not right. You can change it. But if you don't do that, it's like Arjuna. He suddenly faced that confusion ho gaya uske head mein. Correct? And he was leaning towards running away.
Yes.
Had he run away and not taken refuge with Krishna, it would have been biggest disaster, because then the wrong side would have won. And then what would have happened? For generation, people would have gotten destroyed. Some countries it happened. For several generations they suffered. Because they just went into the wrong side and never took refuge in anything higher. So big danger.
So that has to be decided in the intellect. That has to be guided by somebody, because the mind does everything, whatever the intellect says. The mind has no other function but to take in and give out. So the intellect is a deciding factor.
Yes. So intellect has to be purified. That's the whole idea. And then when you are confused, it's better to take some advice. Like if you go back to Taittiriya Upanishad, what did they say? That go to a wise person. They will give you some clarity.
Right.
And then choosing the person. तुम्हारा कोई false guru को भी तुमने ढूंढ लिया, वो भी तुमको बुद्धू बना सकता है.
Yes.
So there are many factors. But then that's why Shastras are very, very, like our teacher used to always say, when you are in doubt, go back to the source. Go back what Krishna Bhagwan is saying. Try to analyze that. Get somebody, instead of saying, he says this, he says that, Sometimes I see on WhatsApp also, Krishna Bhagwan said this, and he may have never said it. People just make it up. You go, show me the verse.
Take a part of a sentence or a thought, and then you can make out of that.
True. Sometimes वो भी नहीं लेते हैं. Some weird stuff, some worldly stuff, Krishna Bhagwan did not talk about all the worldly stuff. He gave Atmagyan, Daily तुमको क्या करना है वो कृष्ण भगवान ने नहीं बोला. कैसे करना है वो बताया है. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The actions undertaken in the present life leave their impressions on the mind and order the future desires and thoughts in the individual. Out of vain actions, only negative vasanas can arise, and they can only thicken the dull-witted stupidities of the intellect. When an individual has lived in this ditch of falsehood and impurity, he cannot but become anything nobler than a monster in the eyes of the wise.
So he's just saying that you get caught into the vicious circle. If you don't wake up, and then this is what, because you are doing this moghasha and all that, and this gives more negative impression. That's how some of these people become criminals, and they hurt the society, because it is stupidities get worse and worse, and their mind, they are totally like never even think about it. And that's why this Sri Ravi Shankar, sometimes he goes to the jails, and जो criminal होते हैं उनके साथ वो बात करते हैं, उनको meditation सिखाते हैं, उनको सिखाते हैं. And he was just saying one time, I was listening to his interview, that some of those people, when उनका जब मन शांत हुआ ना इन लोग criminals का, इतना रोए वो लोग कि हमने ऐसा किया कैसे, because temporary insanity आ जाती है, but if there's some guru, somebody kind of makes them understand, they can change their heart and they can become better people, So,
As a contrast to the Rakshas culture, we are shown how men of wisdom feel and act. This dissection of man's bosom reveals to the seekers of self development the right attitude they must take and the correct perspective with which they must look at the things of the world.
so here, कृष्ण भगवान ने तुमको डराने के लिए नहीं बोला है, पर तुमको एक बताया कि क्या क्या करना चाहिए तुम्हें, किससे तुम देवी संपत्ति बढ़ा सकते हो. That's what it is.
The great soul possessed of the divine nature Prakriti of the self and desiring for this infinite in values of return seek the immortal by realizing the self through single pointed self application. They know me to be the origin of all beings, and those who know the mud to be the origin of all mud parts cannot fail to see the mud in all parts. So too, the true children of Hindu culture who understand the divine principle as the source of all beings cannot but respect every other member of the society as they would respect themselves. There is no greater and more efficient socialism ever preached in the world. If the present generation is not able to understand and appreciate this spiritual socialism, which is the only panacea for the ills of the world, the reason for it has been already given in the former stanza of this pair, now under discussion. It is because of the predominance of the forces of asuras in us.
So he just analyzed it, and he just telling you that these people, the Mahatmas, they see God in everything. That's why, when they say bhajanti mam, means this is, they try to serve the whole world, and this is, we know that, and knowing. So the way I'm looking at it, the more we learn who God is, the more we will be going towards Devi Sampatti. It's as simple as that. And, if we don't do that, there are chances of taking Ashraya, the other one. So I think that all this satsang and all that, that's what for us is very, very important,
Sometimes you just say, okay, you read it and you feel like, okay, that's what I should be or I am. But then it has to be broadened to everything and to everyone, But initially, sometimes I feel like, yes, it is, I have to see first in me, who I am really. And then I look at outside, even just not people or plants or animals, and realizing just in general and getting to everybody. It takes time. It awakens you. You have to be, I think you have to make an effort initially.
Definitely you have to make an effort. And sometimes in the beginning stages, it's very hard on you. Because you realize, when you see the asuri qualities in yourself, you don't like yourself, and you go through that. Hey, why am I doing this? And that's what it's not easy. So, but that is a normal thing. But that time you have to remind yourself that these three qualities are everybody. So we don't need to beat ourselves. Even the fact that you are feeling bad, that's a sign of progress.
Yeah.
Remember, those people who go and do the crime, they don't even think they're doing anything bad.
Yes.
Right? So the fact that you're recognizing, then only you will do something about it, no?
Yeah, I take refuge in myself saying, okay, this is pointed out. I'm aware of it because I'm the awareness and not the things. I'm not this. I'm not this.
Exactly.
Keep finding. Yeah, I'm not this. And this is being aware of it. And I am that. So, contrast between yes and no goes on every time, all everywhere.
It is. That's why Swamiji calls it, spirituality is a 24-hour thing. It's not like a Sunday thing of 2 hours or, a study group of 1 hour. But whatever we learn, then, we got to go out and practice it and try to be aware of it. And then it happens. So it's a process, I would say. Yeah. Any question, comment? Anybody want to add on this? Devi and Asuri? Okay, then we can close Bhagavad Gita here. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.